Vegas lights shine bright, bad boys sitting pretty. Michael, Steve, Rob running things in Sin City. Podcast blazing truth, rhyming hard and witty. Three kings on the mic, Vegas life gets gritty. Matt Michaels dropping bombs, quick wit, no filter. Sin City's own, blending gold with the silver. Steve taking notes, every word's a thriller. Rob's on the tracks, beats cold like a chiller. Bad Boys a podcast, raw truth they broadcast. Speaking facts so fast, haters coming dead last. Las Vegas legends, three amigos top class. Mic in hand, setting fire, never outclassed.
Welcome everybody to the Vegas Bad Boys podcast. This is Wrestling Talk. I'm Sin City Steve, being joined as always by Rob Bossoleri, Vegas Trump guy himself. Rob, how the hell are you, bro?
I am freaking incredible. I am doing really, really well. I mean, the last clip you see me in it, I'm at the Wise Guys Comedy Club, and guess where I was today? Wise Guys Comedy Club.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. You've had quite a week.
I've been performing. I featured last night at a Mexican restaurant slash club slash comedy spot called Take Her Easy on East Sahara. That was a fun show. Give it up to Lex Las Vegas for putting that show on. I've had I'm blanking out. There was a few other ones that I did, but same as always, just go to Vegas Trump Guy and you can see all of it.
Absolutely. All right. I want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We are currently live on YouTube, on Twitch, on Instagram, Facebook, pretty much everywhere at Vegas Bad Boys. We are there. Obviously, as we mentioned, at Vegas Trump Guy for Rob. But hey, man, enough of the preamble, enough of the bullshit. Let's jump in. We got a lot of ground to cover, and let's talk about some wrestling, shall we? All right, man. Let's just dive in and talk about the previous week of AEW television. Lead off with Dynamite. So obviously we are recording this show on the 26th of August. And so of course, you see the graphic on the screen. It's from the 19th. But we're not going to go in there, and the show hasn't even run fully over on the West Coast yet. So we're not going to dive in and hit you with any results for things that you might not have seen. But Rob, I got to get your feedback, man. When this show dropped, we were 11 days out from All In London. What did you think of this episode of Dynamite?
I'm really confused because of the headliners, so to speak. The main act is going to be Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay, and Kenny Omega's teaming with the Young Bucks, who are baby faces. And Kenny Omega, for the most part, is a baby face at this current juncture. And the Young Bucks are going against Christian and Cope, who are technically baby faces. So someone's got to have to screw somebody over, and it is very likely that we see the Evil Elite.
Ooh, Evil Elite.
Think about that. The Evil Elite, and we're getting shades of the cleaner Kenny Omega.
Yes.
El Clone, Davis and Doyle. They're cannon fodder, whatever. I like them in the ring. They have excellent abilities. El Clone is amazing. I like that he peeled the eyes back a couple of weeks earlier, and you know, he's looking more psychotic. He's separating himself from Hologram because Hologram has been gone for so long that El Clone is becoming a character onto his own.
What's up, Scoop?
Yo,
good to see you, Bionic Scoop. Thanks for hanging out with us as always, bro.
I love seeing Hanare, Francisco Akira, and Will Ospreay. The idea that the United Empire is gone, no, it's evolved, and that seems to be a trend with anything from New Japan Pro Wrestling. It doesn't die, it evolves, like kind of like the Judgment Day. Very good, and Hanare is amazing in the ring.
Dude, and the audiences have really taken to Hanare, too. That's one thing that can't be understated. Every time that he showed up on AEW TV, he's been over with the audience. So, obviously, the guy has a distinct look. He does some really cool things in the ring. So, all of that stuff is resonating with AEW fans. Yeah, I mean, I would be okay with, you know, a bit of a talent split. You know, whenever Hanare is not doing a lot of stuff in New Japan, send him over to AEW, man. It makes sense.
Rocky Romero as a heel. He was moreover as a babyface. He was able to talk. He's being marginalized. Now, I never understood the Roppongi Vice stuff when he was doing RPG. It was some New Japan Pro Wrestling in the weeds reference to a tag group that had no time or leverage in AEW. So this is not bad, but he could be doing so much more. So I don't care for that.
I mean, you mentioned cannon fodder. You know, I don't think there's ever been a better example of that than Rocky Romero.
Yeah,
he is the opposite of undefeated. Let's just put it that way.
And let's put it like this: think about a few years earlier when you had AEW and Dark Order. Who was that one guy in Dark Order that didn't belong there, but he was there all the time? Colt Cabana. What happened to him? Was he a face? Was he a heel? We didn't know what was going on with this guy. Rocky Romero is a new Colt Cabana.
There you go. I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that. And you know, applying that logic to it. You know, dude, I got to mention it because so often on this show, we talk about the women's division not, you know, producing in certain instances or certain matches being, you know, kind of missable. But this TBS Championship 4-way was actually a lot of fun. It was under 10 minutes, and it was just boom, 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 boom action.
Well, that's about how long minutes. I can hold out in a 4-way with 4 beautiful women. It's about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Okay, but,
that's Chris Statlander, Hikaru Shida, Persephone, and Maya World for the TBS Championship. Maya successfully defends that TBS Championship and getting the pin over Chris Statlander, which I didn't quite see that one coming, to be honest. I thought that she would retain, but you know, I figured they would probably have Persephone or somebody else, you know, take that fall.
Statlander has never and will never be, to this point that I can see in the foreseeable future, better than the quirky alien. Her eating a pin means nothing because you can't have it on Sheeta. Sheeta's over right now as a heel. She's doing very good. Persephone, we're not going to, you know, have somebody from CMLL eat a pin. Statlander is the only one who can eat a pin right now. And Maya World's got a little bit of gasoline left in the tank. I don't know where she could take it because I think we've gone past her brother dying. I think she's doing it on her own. But is she, you know, I don't know. I don't know where they could take her. I really don't know. I don't know how far she can go.
I'll be honest, man. And we'll talk about the AEW All In lineup when we do predictions toward the end of the show. But you know, I'm really surprised that they haven't announced anything involving the TBS Championship being defended in any capacity at All In. You know, I thought for sure there'd end up be some sort of like a TBS Open Challenge or, you know, something of that nature, but they haven't teed anything up for that whatsoever. It remains to be seen what actually does happen.
One of your opening dark matches.
Yeah.
And again, because Maya World, she's not over. She's not super over. She's not doing poorly, but I'm not going to risk her at Wembley. Right. Not on the main block.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it remains to be seen what they do, but you know, the one thing that will be decided at Wembley is going to be the Continental Challenge Cup and the Continental Championship, as we'll have the finals of our tournament. On this episode of Dynamite, we had 2 very solid quarterfinal matches, as we had Jay White and Jon Moxley going at it. And Moxley picking up the win, quite frankly, to the surprise of absolutely nobody. It's been pretty much a foregone conclusion that this man was going to go to Wembley. It remained to be seen who would end up facing him. And I think we found out who is going to be facing him, even on this episode of Dynamite. They went and they did an injury angle, furthered the injury angle with Nigel McGuinness as he taped up his boot. He taped up the outside of his boot and obviously sold his foot the entire time. This is not a shoot injury. So unfortunately, this is a bit of working. But yeah, to steal a line from good old Jim Ross, Hechicero got he got his ass kicked by a man with one leg. And that whole phrase that he used to say, yeah, he got his ass kicked by a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
We need the Brits, I guess. There, I when I see Nigel McGuinness, I'm like, is this like empty calories? What are we? We're not taking this seriously.
No.
When you see Nigel McGuinness, you're like, oh, that's cool. Uncle Nigel's wrestling, lovely. And then you hear the stories about, oh, hey, he used to be big back in the day.
Yeah.
He looks good. He's in the best shape of his career. When you hear that shit,
yeah,
eventually it will catch up. So,
and I mean, quite frankly, if he does go on to Wembley in the finals of the tournament, who's to say that that's not one of his last major kind of championship challenges? Because you just said it, man. He's not a spring chicken. He's not super young. So his time is finite.
Were any of the audiences, when we first saw him on Saturday night Collision, I went, who is this guy? And you guys were like, you don't know Nigel McGuinness? And I went, no, I'm a fucking WWE TNA mark. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I don't know what fucking little local pissant British fucking thing he came from. Ooh. I don't know. And then they go, you're got to be a wrestling fan. Here's the thing about wrestling fans. We don't know everything about wrestling. We don't. We like what we like. Yep. I don't give a fuck why Darth Vader became Darth Vader. I know Darth Vader has a red lightsaber and he can choke the shit out of people. That's it. Who's Nigel McGuinness? As far as I'm concerned, he's a guy who does commentary and calls somebody a clam digger. That's Nigel McGuinness. That's his claim to fame. That Bryan Danielson, he's a bloody clam digger.
I'll tell you, man. It's really interesting to hear you say that. I was somebody who is very familiar with Nigel's work in Ring of Honor. So obviously, I'd love to tell you to go back and check out any of those classic wars that he had with, Danielson or anybody that he, laced it up with back in the day. But the fact is, they haven't really done a great job of selling him to the newer audiences, despite the fact that they own that fucking library. You know what I mean?
And
they could have easily made people give more of a shit about him in this tournament.
I know more about CM Punk and Kevin Steen, their Ring of Honor feuds from WWE's lens than I know about this guy feuding with Bryan Danielson. There is nothing established with this guy. So the fact now that you're bringing him out of retirement, he's supposed to be like your younger Wade Barrett. I get it. And if Wade Barrett ran into the ring now, newer audiences would go, who the fuck is this old guy? He doesn't look old. I like him on commentary. He is built like a fucking brick shithouse for all intents and purposes. When he wrestles, it's gimmicky. So I'm looking at him as a spot filler at best. He's there to get a few more British people paying attention.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's call it for what it is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And so obviously both of the marquee singles matches were spotlighted in backstage interview segments. Well, somewhat. The Omega and Ospreay sit down with Renee Paquette. A lot of people in the arena said that it went too long. There was some restlessness in the stands, but dude, I've got to say I loved that promo. If for no other reason than we got asshole Kenny Omega peeking through. It just sucks that, quite frankly, he's going to be dropping the title now that we're recording this in about 4 days. And will he go back to just being babyface Kenny Omega? Probably.
Wait a minute. He looks like cleaner.
Yep.
He looks like a heel. Here's my problem with him. He also looks sickly and exhausted. And the gimmick is you're fighting the smartest version of me because I'm not physically at my peak. I hate that as an angle, because then you're saying, well, Will Ospreay, who's never had the belt and he's the baby on all AEW, has a broken neck. So you're putting two injured guys out there, and it reeks of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. It reeks of stale feud. I don't know what else to say about this. If Will Ospreay is not doing flips like he would have in New Japan Pro Wrestling, facing off against Ricochet, which, by the way, Ricochet is probably around the same age and is in mint condition. I mean, that guy probably knows how to take care of himself. But there's the thing now. What are we going to get? I mean, he's still not brawling quite like Moxley. We were sold on this idea that he was going to be Moxley. We were sold on this idea that I'm not feeling any of that. What I'm feeling is you're giving us two watered down versions of these guys.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate reality. And now when I see MJF in there, I feel like MJF is a title holder in between movie shots.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
MJF is the heir apparent for any title run. When you go, I wonder who's next. Wait, where's MJF filming?
Yeah.
They don't have that strong of a replacement for MJF. And there were people that I thought would have had the Rocket. I thought it would have been Bobby Lashley a long time ago. It's been 2 years. Where the fuck has he been in this conversation with the best ring manager that they have on the mic?
Yeah.
You've got MVP. You've got the complete WWE gimmick with one change in the name. Her business, her syndicate. Who cares? It's the same gimmick. Everybody loves it. They love the music. Shelton Benjamin looks amazing. MVP could throw in a run. And unlike Nigel McGuinness, we all know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
And they did nothing with it. Unless the guy said, I don't feel like being the champion, they could have put him to the moon and we would have all got behind it. They have nobody other than MJF right now, in my opinion, that has the full package.
Yeah. And that's obviously exposing deeper issues, but obviously, the men's championship scene is very solid. What did you think about the beatdown that ensued with Mercedes and Willow, man? They've been tussling and not doing a whole lot of talking. They've been a contrast to the men's championship.
Willow looks amazing. It's not a bunch of talk. She's talked. She's a super syrupy baby face, and she's coming off like, all right, fuck the baby face shit. Do I want to see her come out in all black and studs and no. I like it. And it also, but here's the thing, because Willow's kicking this shit out of everyone's going, Willow's going to lose because Mercedes Moné's been getting beat around. Mercedes Moné is going to do some over-the-top shit and win. I almost don't want that.
No.
I don't want that. I want Mercedes Moné to do every scummy thing, and then I want Willow to give the old proverbial nut shot to her.
Yeah.
I want Willow to do something underhanded, beat her, and have Mercedes Moné chase and go soul searching. Because then you could get babyface Mercedes Moné, and then you have something to carry you through.
Yeah.
There's so much more meat on the bone if you let Willow Nightingale win instead of just make her the heir apparent. Mercedes Moné, make her the heir apparent. Fuck that shit.
Yep.
Have Willow Nightingale win.
Completely agreed, man. Willow should definitely retain. Also, obviously, we'll recap the Continental Challenge Cup here in just a minute, because obviously we mentioned Moxley and White and Hechicero and McGuinness. So obviously Moxley and McGuinness advance, but over on Collision, we actually had some interesting stuff as well. We did have the other 2 quarterfinal matches in that tournament as conglomeration teammates went at it. Kyle O'Reilly got the better of Orange Cassidy, and Death Rider teammates went at it as Claudio Castagnoli defeated Daniel Garcia. On Friday's Ring of Honor pay-per-view, it was announced that Eddie Kingston was not medically cleared for competition on Saturday.
Who?
So as a result, Eddie Kingston.
I don't. Who is
so
that
Eddie
guy?
Kingston had this spot in the Continental
No,
Challenge.
I know. I'm being facetious. He's not had the same staying power that he's had 2 years ago.
Not at all. So obviously Daniel Garcia wrestled Adam Priest on that show as kind of a play-in match, they called it. And I do have to mention, I do like them using that type of verbiage, that vernacular that you would hear on any kind of a mainstream sporting event. A play-in match or a play-in game is absolutely within the regular vocabulary of any tournament proceeding. So again, I like the presentation. They're doing little things extremely well. Also, dude, I gotta tell you, man, there was a tag team match on this show with Tommaso Ciampa and Nick Wayne taking on Commander and Speedball Mike Bailey. If you guys have about 20 minutes spare in your life, go out and find this match. This was awesome. And yet again, as I had mentioned, Death Before Dishonor was the night before this, and Nick Wayne went out there, had a 5-star match with Bandito for the Ring of Honor World Championship, and then follows it up the very next night with a crazy good performance here on Collision. Nick Wayne is turning heads and doing all the right things right now, man.
The only thing I don't like about Nick Wayne is Nick Wayne. I don't like his gimmick. He has a look which he's building his body up.
Yeah.
And his repertoire of moves is just fucking incredible. Tommaso Ciampa is already gutter trash, and it's unfortunate. And for no other reason that they propped him up too soon, and they did not align him with anybody, and he's just angry. His gimmick is he's angry. It's unfortunate. Speedball Mike Bailey is too fucking cornball syrupy, and Commander is a filler luchador. Even though those 4 men are fucking incredible in the ring and should be doing better. TNA, all 4 of them. They would be monsters in TNA. AEW, they're in an ocean. And
well, I mean, I guess if you wanted to go back in time about 3 to 4 years, you could watch Speedball Mike Bailey in TNA, but that's kind of splitting hairs, I guess.
Yeah, but when he was in, I mean, I don't know where to put him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know where to put him where he can be the center of attention he deserves to be. And I just don't see them. And here's the end. You got the Hurt Syndicate and Lee Moriarty. Why is Lee Moriarty the only guy with a belt in that scenario?
Dude, that whole situation was just, it seemed completely off. You had Lashley and Benjamin literally walk away from Lee Moriarty before the match was over. So, dude, I hate to say it, but the Hurt Syndicate in AEW has largely been a flop.
And here's the thing. I don't know why, because it's such we hurt people. No one's disappointed with them. I don't know.
So Bobby had gotten injured, but realistically, I mean, they have had ample opportunity to push either one of those guys or as a tag, and they have chosen to not do it for whatever reason.
With these guys, like nonstop.
Dude, I don't get it. I don't understand.
MVP is one of the greatest managers on the mic. He's better than Don Callis. He's not at the level of Paul Heyman, but he's very solid on the mic.
Very good. Yeah.
And also, I don't like that it has to be black.
Yeah.
Fine. They did that with Cedric Alexander back when they feuded with Apollo Crews back when. It could be anybody. I liked that MJF wanted to join them, and he was begging to get in there. It was funny how somebody who was a champion was begging people who were not technically at his level because he was having a dry spell and he just wanted the attention. because they were cool. And they did not do it. These guys essentially retired Private Party. And you had one crew take out another and then shoot the assassins. Yeah. It's like you killed the assassins. I don't understand it. You can find Bobby Lashley was hurt. Put him in the title run. I just want to hear the music. I want to hear the music. I want to hear whoever, and I don't want it immediately after Wembley because I want there to be a legitimate chance. Because if I hear that music show up after All In, you know that it's just a filler match. It's a filler champion. I need to see 2 or 3 months down the line we hurt people.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see Swerve Strickland associated with them. And when the New Day get there, and we will probably be talking about that, the New Day will be showing up somehow as, Kofi and Austin Creed. I don't know what Kofi Kingston would go by, but we know it'll be Austin Creed.
He's actually trademarked his real name. So he'll probably come in as Kofi Mensah, or he also filed KSM too, which are his initials. So
couldn't he do Kofi King?
You could do any number of things, man. So
I don't want to hear KSM, but Kofi Yeah, I would just say Kofi King.
Yeah, that whole situation, like I said, was just kind of off. And then the situation immediately after, where you have the rest of Shane Taylor Promotions out there, and then they call out an open challenge, which is then answered by the Bang Bang Gang, and Jay White and the Guns come out and essentially mop the floor with these guys. It's muddying the trio scene, because now if you look at what they have proposed for All In, I'm hoping that the stuff that I've seen online comes to fruition, because what I've seen is they might actually incorporate some cinematic elements to this and do a stadium stampede with the trios titles, which could be very interesting.
And wait, for All In?
At All In, yeah. At All In.
Here's my other question.
Because as it sits right now, based on the promos from the last couple of weeks, you've essentially have 5 or 6 trios that have said that they want a shot at those titles. So, yeah, you've got, obviously, your existing champions. You've got the Demand. You got the Dogs. You got the Bang Bang Gang. You've got Swerve and presumably the New Day, or whatever they're going to call themselves. The way that stuff could work is if they did incorporate some cinematic elements along with some live stuff in that stadium as well. But it remains to be seen what they do.
So here's my feeling on all of this is we have to make those trios belts actually fucking mean something, because they don't mean anything. The last time they were really, really relevant was when it was on the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
That was the last time I had any emotional attachment. And why? Because it was Billy Gunn.
Right.
So the last time I cared about it was when Billy Gunn was incorporated with it. And I remember I grinded my teeth with Matt about this. And I was right. Because when you brought him out of retirement, who has the best physique in pro wrestling? One of, anyway, despite his age, Billy Gunn.
Yeah. He's
a nostalgia piece. Great. I mean, it's like, what would happen if Lex Luger didn't collapse? You got Billy Gunn. How is he doing it? That's the best creatine in the universe. I don't care. What I'll say is I was happy to see him. He did the right thing. And then it went to a bunch of groups I don't care about. Maybe get the remaining members of Dark Order to come out there and go, I'm serious again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Surprise me if you're paying these motherfuckers to languish in Ring of Honor. Because I was saying Ring of Honor was the hardcore show. It was the replacement for ECW. And now it's AEW Dark.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It remains to be seen what they do, but I've got to say, man, I really like the field for the Continental Challenge Cup. And, I would like to see them make this a tradition, have this tournament in the summer, have the round robin style tournament in the winter. It just makes sense. Yeah, man. Any other thoughts on AEW programming before we flip it over to WWE?
Well, we didn't even get into the Divine Dominion because
Wow.
Yeah,
I
you had
mean,
him on. You had him on the, and that's one thing. That's all I'm
they're
gonna say
they're
about
just
it.
squashing chicks. You know, that's what they do.
Yeah, it's. I'm not. Whatever. They're big. They're muscular. Their mic skills are meh. We'll see what happens next.
All right, man. Absolutely. All right, let's talk about WWE and Monday Night Raw. So we're gonna kind of go in a bit of reverse chronological order here. As Raw obviously was the latest show, and then we'll follow up with SmackDown. But what all did you think about Raw, man? That opening segment went viral again because Solo is quite hilarious. People love him, man. He's doing the Matrix out there. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Pew pew pew. I shit. They've got their finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Now, will WWE fuck this up? Probably. Long term, they will milk it and fuck it up because
they will take any spontaneity and joy out of what's going on. It's inevitable.
Triple H really is. Triple H is like a fucking pustule when it comes to something enjoyable. Are you telling me they like this shit? Kill it. That's what's best for business. And teaming him up with LA Knight.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
But I've said what I feel about LA Knight. He should be far bigger than he is. Any of his in-ring botches or maybe mild flubs here and there on the mic are not worth sidelining him as much as they have. And Solo Sikoa, we beat him in a match. That means he's going to rejoin the family. There was no enforcement mechanism there. He doesn't care about the bloodline pride. So cool. And by the way, MFTs to that same logic with Haku running around. They kept the name and they kicked out the leader. The whole point was we disbanded from you. You made this group.
Yep.
And just like,
well, they changed what MFT means in that very first promo with Haku. He point blank said they're the motherfucking Tongans.
Yeah, I know, but I know it's so cringy. What would have made more sense is if he would have just came out and beat the shit out of Solo Sikoa with the three of them. Instead of just saying a soft, we can't do it because our Tongan parents said, no, we can't hang out no more. That's what they said. That's essentially what they said. And this is how good Solo Sikoa was. Somehow, some way, because here's the thing, we know behind the scenes there's production involved in this. People produce the matches. Somehow someone said, can you be funny? Or can I do this? I want to know, low-key, what was it that allowed them to do this 180 from being, okay, where I'm going to, be part of my own family, my own clique, and then I'm going to team up with Royce Keys, no linkage there, zero, and LA Knight, zero linkage there, and make him on the verge of a babyface turn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it, but I know the WWE is going to let us down.
Absolutely. And obviously, you mentioned Royce Keys. We're going to talk about him here in just a second. Obviously, what happened at the end of this show also turned a lot of heads and got a lot of eyes as well. Dude, I'm putting the graphic back up. Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez. Vaquer's first match since WrestleMania 42. Obviously, you have all of the interference, all the bullshit that you know that you're going to get. Stephanie Vaquer picks up the win, and it goes without saying, Roxanne Perez just doesn't win matches. She's gotten like 1 or 2 wins on the main roster, and that's it.
Roxanne Perez, when she joined the Judgment Day, she was going to be in a romantic angle with Finn Balor. They abandoned it. She was supposed to be the prodigy, the smartest person, the future of the company. They say it as a catchphrase, but they give her nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Too goddamn small. Jordan Grace is small, but Jordan Grace was built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah.
And then you put Jordan Grace in the ring with Amazonian tall women, and nobody cared about Jordan Grace. This girl is too goddamn cutesy to be in that group. Liv Morgan is cutesy, but she's playing it with a bitch attitude, which works. She's a smart ass.
Yep.
She's got angst. She's got a mean streak. Great. It works. She's like Mean Girls. Fine. Rodriguez. Get it. Perfect. Syrupy girl who looks like fresh chewed bubble gum. Bounces around and prances around. And what are we going to say? I can't believe you when you say she's mean.
Right.
If they would have followed this to its progression, and she goes off, jumps into Finn Balor's arms and goes off to SmackDown, you would have nowhere for her to go. So now she's stuck eating pins because you can't make Raquel Rodriguez look bad. You're not going to make your champion eat pins and Liv Morgan. So now this girl is just, her ass is getting pounded. I mean, there are porn stars who have taken less abuse than her. I mean, good God.
Man. Pretty much. Yeah, man. I got to say, a lot of abuse being taken. That's one hell of a segue into another match on this show, man. Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee. Holy shit. Just goes to show you that WWE fans do love the flippy shit. It's just when their guys are involved. Holy shit. This was an AEW match on WWE TV. I'll go as far as to say that. That was fantastic.
Was Dragon
on? Finally, they're actually spotlighting Rey Fenix. Long overdue.
Well, and the thing was they made it where it's like he's the shadow of his brother.
Yeah.
No, they were a tag team. And they've acknowledged that these guys are a great tag team. And since the tag fucking division is garbage, I would rather see them be the tag guys that just hold the tag belts forever and a fucking day, because they're going to do a better job. And I think the reason why they've separated them is because they're too fucking good, because they would probably outshine every other tag group. The MFTs, they got Haku in their corner. Okay, fine. Go on to Raw. Who are the tag guys on Raw right now? Took you a while.
Yeah, dude. Like it's
I think it's the
highly
Vision, right?
Forgettable.
It's the Vision, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And they suck. And
Yep.
by the way, why are the Viking War garbage Raiders just sitting in the back of SmackDown with 2 AAA belts, the least Mexican guys you could find with their Nordic asses? And their gimmick is, we want a shot. We're sick of being the AAA tag champions. We want a shot. And then they didn't get it. Remember the whole thing? They were leading up to a winner-take-all scenario, and then that fell flat.
Yeah.
The tag wrestling in WWE is shit. It's about a gimmick. It's about a gimmick that goes nowhere. And by the way, what are the Bloodline now? They really have no belts. Like, I've said this before. If the Bloodline should be taken seriously, then the Usos should have the tag belts. And the IC belt should be on Jacob Fatu. Then I would go, oh my fucking God, these guys have all the gold. Am I wrong?
Shit. You were spot on, but dude, we already ran through that time period, man. I don't want every title to be on the fucking Bloodline. Not again.
No, but
not fucking again.
But that's why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I want people to roll their eyes, and I want other teams to step up. Think about it. We brought back Street Profits. How quick was their title run? They're not over. They cannot figure it out. Okay? Yeah. Like, homeboys are going to be on the unemployment line looking for TNA or AEW bound if they can't figure it out. But there's nobody else. The Vision? I don't give a shit about the Vision without Paul Heyman.
No.
And they had to put Paul Heyman back with Braun Breaker to make him interesting. And what did Braun Breaker do? They at least executed that storyline properly. He weaseled his way back in and he goes, what do you think? What do you mean what I think? What do you think of my chances? Well, I don't know. Yeah, but do you think that I'm the future? I think that I have the utmost respect for Obafemi. And it's like, yeah, but you don't answer my question. And I'm watching this, and it's like you could see that it's like a young guy who doesn't get it. He's having a mental block. And now Paul Heyman's got drawn back into this. I like this, but you see how Paul Heyman separated himself from the Vision. Maxine Dupree on the Vision, I don't care about that. She's not making out with anybody. She's not kissing anybody. She's not buzzing slop. She's not doing anything. She just sits there with Austin Theory. They're two cardboard cutouts. There's no chemistry.
I mean, to be fair, they've basically been all over each other for weeks now. So
yeah, but
I don't know if her man finally manned up and was like, "Hey, man, this doesn't work for me, brother."
You know, I'm not saying he's got to finger bang her in the middle of the ring, but Jesus Christ, or prop her up on the top rope and start eating her out. But sell it to me.
Wow.
You know, it's like the Matrix 2, and they say, "I could tell that you're in love with Neo," and I'm like, how? They're just standing there. They're not saying a goddamn thing. They're not doing anything. Trinity isn't moving. She's not kissing him. She's not smiling at him. She's not looking at him. And every scene was, you two are in deep, deep love. No, you're not. You're there because there's nowhere else for you to go.
Yeah.
Maxine Dupree and Paul Heyman can afford to take a break.
Yeah.
This is terrible what they're doing to the women.
Yeah. Yeah. And, speaking of terrible what they're doing to people, Big Cass beat the absolute dog shit out of Javon Evans. Beat the absolute shit out of that guy. Say whatever you will about it. The production that they have on Big Cass, yeah, they're gonna be putting the machine behind him in no time. I would not be surprised if that dude holds a championship within the next year.
Unless I hear the mandolins playing, then it's not gonna happen. He's gonna come out. He can't talk. He cannot talk.
That's why you got to get Enzo out there too.
Enzo Amore. I don't care what he does. I don't care how rude he is to a woman. You let him do what the fuck he does, and you put him on a short leash. And by the way, I met him. Oh, Enzo, you know what he go? Hey, real one. Hey, go. Hey. And then it was it. He was like in and out. And you know what? I did not mind because it's what I expected. I wasn't disappointed. He barely gave me a dap. It was kind of like and I'm like, all right, guy's completely in his own head and full of himself. Fine. I'm not angry.
Yeah.
I want that because he comes out and he projects that on a WWE stage. Remember when they kicked him out and he bought tickets to his show?
Yep.
And they put that's balls.
Hell yeah, it is.
That's fucking balls. I mean, fucking use him. He's another one. I don't need what was it? Charmina, the one who's married to Corey Graves, because
Carmella.
Exactly. I don't remember her with her shitty moonwalking. I don't remember, but I remember him. I remember his fucking amazing entrance theme. I remember SAWFT soft, and then little by little he learned to wrestle in a mediocre fashion, and he beat Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
Ooh, Drew Gulak. But that's my thing. He know when you have the right thing.
Yeah.
Know when you have something there.
Absolutely,
Just
man.
Run it till the wheels fall off.
Absolutely. And then in our other tournament matchup to determine who loses to Roman Reigns in Mexico City.
How quick is that match going to be?
La Parka.
Yeah. Okay. And by the way, you can see through that mask, La Parka's looking old.
Yeah. Well, so the thing that kills me is, they're postulating on whether or not this is the exact same La Parka from WCW in the late 90s.
No, come on. The guy would have to be in his 50s.
It's absolutely not. So, yeah, no.
It's like Suicide I was at a TNA match where Suicide was a black guy, and then in the same night, it was a white guy because you could see through the crack of his neck. And I don't remember which wrestler was playing him that night, but I was like, are there two Suicides on the same taping? And there were. There was two Suicides in the same taping. And Absolutely. That's the thing. I just, whatever. That's the funny thing. You just call him La Parker Jr. El Hijo de El Parker Jr. Just do that bullshit.
Yep.
With these fucking endless names.
And so there's our updated tournament graphic. As I said, the tournament to determine who loses to Roman Reigns in Mexico City. It is now between the Lucha Brothers, who will vie for that extremely great right. But hey, they get a payday with the tribal chief. So, a lot of exposure for whoever wins that tournament. I mean, realistically, if they've never done anything with him, I would almost say give it to Fenix. I would almost say give it to Ray Fenix, but it is what it is. One other thing that was very interesting that we saw some stuff online right around was the possibility that Bayley's contract has been renewed. So
Matt took my fucking head off when I posted the opposite in our group chat.
Yeah. So my thing is, man, I don't think that they would even speak her name if she hadn't signed a deal. So just the mere fact that she was involved in anything on TV leads me to believe that, yes, she has re-signed her deal, and she will be falling right back in line and unfortunately getting lost in the shuffle somewhere. But hey, she can make some great money and continue to do what she's been doing for WWE and women's wrestling. Hopefully she continues with her lodestone stuff, which has been a huge win for the women's wrestling community.
I look at her and I think there is nobody who has done more in recent times. You watch her Elimination Chamber matches where she's literally directing traffic.
Yep.
Throughout the entire match. The coordination that is involved in wrestling between a solid, good referee who's getting commands in the earpiece, plus the in-ring stuff. I mean, you saw with Jade Cargill when she started out that coordination is everything, especially in matches, and the ability to try and put somebody else over. She took a huge sacrifice trying to put over her tag partner there and Lyra Valkyria. Unfortunately, it's not paying dividends.
Yeah.
Lyra Valkyria is Nikki Cross all over again. And it's unfortunate. And a lot of people meander a while. I mean, Becky Lynch meandered a long time before she found her legs. But she's too valuable to WWE. She really is. She's not interchangeable. She's very, very valuable.
Absolutely, she is. And, all the best to Bayley. Absolutely. Congratulations on signing that new deal, if that is indeed what happened. Anything else from Raw that you can think of? I think we pretty much.
Pew, pew. Nope.
Pew.
Nothing. Pew. Yeah, it was good. That was so fucking good.
Every time, dude. Every time I see any of that shit, it pops me. So.
And you got that stupid shirt on, Oos.
Yes.
Just so good.
It's so great, dude.
Fucking good.
It's so great.
What are we doing with Danhausen now? And what's going on with Say His Name? And he appears. I believed in Joe Hendry.
I like how you put the D on the end of that because,
he should not have gone on Raw. No. He should have been on SmackDown.
Agreed.
And he would have been perfect to compare against Trick Williams. That would have been so good.
Absolutely, man. And speaking of SmackDown, let's pivot and talk about SmackDown, which did air on the 21st of August. So right there, obviously, the vastly anticipated undisputed WWE title match between CM Punk and Kevin Owens. You just knew that there would be a fucked finish. You knew that they wouldn't give away something legit on free TV. It sucks, but it's the same old playbook. CM Punk retains. Obviously, the deal by now. Ref bump. Sami Zayn interferes. Hands Owens the title belt. Owens refuses. And then Zayn blasts Owens with the belt. Punk hits the GTS for the pin. And that was your main event on SmackDown.
I've yawned too many times already.
Yeah. It does have to be mentioned that Zayn did belt CM Punk in that match as well. So it wasn't like as if. Yeah.
Here's my thing. You're gonna see my glossy head because it's like 1,000 degrees in my house today for some reason.
Well, we do live in Las Vegas.
I hate Sami Zayn. I hate how tacky he is. I hate how WWE leans on how tacky he is and runs with it way too fucking much. He has skill in the ring. He does. But he has relied on that shit for far too goddamn long. I would rather see him do a character change, cut his hair, look respectable, maybe rock a suit, maybe do something. I don't like looking at his beady goddamn eyes. I don't like anything about his character. And I don't like when they send him out to Saudi Arabia, he panders to that crowd. It's fine. Those are his people, sort of, I guess, because he's from Syria, he's Syrian, and that's Saudi Arabia. But everything about him is just lowbrow to me. And yes, if you're in WWE and you're doing everything that you can to stay relevant and stay on camera, God bless you. You don't have to necessarily be a title holder. However, to just be a obnoxious ball hanger for your entire WWE run with a couple of mid belts is irritating. Attitude Era was a mid belter. Fucking Benoit was a mid belter, and they were insane. China, maybe no one's ever used the term mid belter, but that's what the belts that they held, and they made it fucking relevant. And then we had The Miz, had it for so many times, the Intercontinental belt, and everyone said, oh, you play it safe. All of these mid belts used to mean something. You've got these guys running around in the mid, and it's like all or nothing with WWE now. And the all part of it is a bunch of guys who are broke down and exhausted looking. CM Punk, great physique right now, but he still looks old. All of them look old. Cody, they've exhausted him. If you jerk off that Cody dildo one more time, dust is going to shoot out. Cody, one more time with Cody. Cody. Cody.
I had to ISO you on that one.
Sorry. No, it's the same people over and over again, and they've said that. Damian Priest said that. And you know what? Again, conspiracy theories on the IWC. He may be on the chopping block soon. He might be gone. Conspiracy theories, but he might be gone. And Carmelo might be gone. And who was the other one that's just not doing much of anything? I mean, that's where we're at. What are these guys contributing? So you've got Sami Zayn.
It really makes you wonder, man.
Now, by the way, I think that if Sami Zayn went to a TNA, oh fuck, he'd be colossal there. He'd be too big for the place. If he went to AEW, I could see him in a conglomeration, just acting like a fucking zany asshole, and it might work. But this, and Cody needs to go heel. Cody needs to be don't dye the hair. No. Stop dyeing the hair. Yep, let it grow out natural and have him be an ass.
Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. Yeah, man. We did find out who Nakamura's new tag partner was going to be on this episode of SmackDown, at least.
That was a great promo.
And that is none other than former New Japan Pro Wrestling star Hiromu Takahashi, who's adopted the name of Kyoki, who did compete in a dark match before the Raw and SmackDown taping on Monday. So, yeah, he is going to be good to go. And good to see Hiromu on a much larger stage. The guy is, and I'm sure that you'll be able to pick up on this, Rob, he is a very, very charismatic talent who should thrive in WWE without question, because he has the charisma, the promo ability, but also he can back it up in the ring too. So he's very gifted in the ring, multiple time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. He's won the Best of the Super Juniors tournament several times. So yeah, this is a great get for WWE at the end of the day.
If they do it right.
If they do it right.
Because they didn't do right by his tag partner, who had so many opportunities, and now he looks old because with Takahashi standing next to him, I'm like, whoa, the rock star is looking old. Damn.
Well, he is no spring chicken either. Shinsuke Nakamura has accomplished a lot in this business.
How old is he?
We talked about this a while back. I should always have a Wikipedia window open for when you ask me these random as shit questions.
Well, we were leading that Shinsuke, but Shinsuke looks old.
He was born February 24th, 1980. Oh,
he's my age.
Yeah.
God damn. And that's the thing.
But he debuted in 2002. So he's accomplished a lot in this business, to say the very least.
And look, my gripe again. They had times where he was communicating with the crowd in an organic way. The cinematic with the captions underneath, everything was looking good, and they keep dropping the fuck. And the only thing I could come to was they don't see a long-term solution with the guy who can barely speak English. It's the only thing I could come up with. They tried pairing him up with Sami Zayn, and that was just too stupid for words. I don't know what to do with this guy. I love them. I love Nakamura. He's great. I want him to have a belt. Maybe the tag belts. I don't know. Something.
The going back to this graphic, I got to mention, man, speaking of not knowing what to do with anyone, how should we say this? The much anticipated debut on the main roster of Blake Monroe against Julia, who those two ladies have some history in Stardom. Didn't quite end up being any kind of anything. It never even got started, as Blake Monroe ambushed Julia during her entrance later out. No contester.
Why did we do that? Why didn't Julia just say, ring the fucking bell, I want to fight and prove myself?
I'll tell you, that Toni Storm promo that she cut with Blake Monroe, the former Mariah May, right before their Hollywood ending match, seems so much more apropos these days. And Toni Storm saying that she will be loved, but she will never be the main star, the center of attention, and that she would be suffering in a sea of mediocrity going forward. It seems to be that there's might be some more truth to those words than what was originally thought.
By the way, did you not see the Toni Storm-esque promo she cut in the dressing room?
That was another thing that I was going to mention. Gimmick fucking infringement, my friends. Gimmick infringement. They really want her to be timeless Toni Storm in WWE. And it's try to come up with something original. That's all I can say. That was
the whole point, is she was doing that in AEW on home turf. She was impersonating a young Toni Storm, or the younger Gimmick, when she had her hair up. I'm like, oh my God, this is so sketchy. It's just bad. And then you don't even fight. So you're telling me that you're just a hot chick. And by the way, do I think she's hotter than anybody else? No, I don't. If you're going to be a hot chick, you know who did it right? When Scarlett Bordeaux was in TNA and she was the Smoke Show. And then you know who she wrestled? Men. And she sold. And it was good.
Very much so. Yeah, man.
It could be done right. They buried her already. She's done.
And
she's buried.
Speaking of, as we kind of segue in and talk about the news of the week, this made a lot of headlines throughout the week as Ilya Dragunov exits WWE after his contract expires. And that is the most important 3 words on that graphic. After contract expires. It was not a budget cut. He was not released. So thus there is no 90-day no compete clause. So if you're keeping score at home, he's going to be showing up at Wembley Stadium on Sunday. It wouldn't surprise me if he's featured very prominently in that Casino Gauntlet match to determine who gets a world championship shot. I don't know if they'll pull the trigger on Dragunov right there, but a case could definitely be made to do so.
Is his real name Ilya Dragunov, or is it just, or is that some Russian-esque sounding name? I know, I did it again.
You did it again. So it looks like as if his name is actually Ilya Rakober.
Right, so Dragunov sounds
Dragunov cooler. Is a he's used the name elsewhere. He's used that name elsewhere, but as we know, WWE loves themselves some trademarks. So I don't know if he can be Ilya Dragunov. I would love it because that's a dope name, but you know, obviously if it doesn't work out to be that way, then so be it. But yeah, man, that guy should show up in AEW at Wembley Stadium with no questions asked.
I love it. Where would you place him?
To be dead honest, I would say have him feud for, you know, maybe the national championship, maybe even the TNT championship. There are several different ways that you could go with that guy. But yeah, I don't know if you put him in the main event right away. I think that's a bit too hasty, even despite how great he is in the ring.
I want him to fight Ciampa. I think that would look great. It would be visual. Then you could say then they can argue about who got kicked out of WWE, just like they did with Ruby Soho. You weren't a runaway. You were fired. Go that route. Have them exchange blows and have him just bump into Ilya. And obviously not after Wembley to do it.
Yeah.
Bump into him and then go, what the fuck's your problem? Blah, blah, blah. Do it like that. It would be. And then those two would have chemistry. Done. Without
a doubt, man. And, you know, speaking of some other big things that happened this week, we had a whole lot of nepotism going on. As Sting's son, Stephen Borden Jr., debuts on AEW TV. AJ Styles' son debuted on TNA. And Umaga's son, Zilla Fatu, debuted on NXT. So, yeah, Stephen Borden. You have Avery Styles over there in TNA and Zilla in NXT.
All right, Zilla, whatever, year or two, then he'll be in the bloodline in some capacity, fighting or with them. But Steve Borden, he looks exactly like his fucking dad.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Oh my God.
It's crazy, dude.
What if could he be Sting?
I wouldn't think that he would be Sting, but I could see him having some sort of an homage to his dad. Having some sort of face paint, not a full face paint, kind of like Surfer Sting, except obviously a bit modernized. We could see what happens, but
he came out to Darby Allin's.
It wouldn't surprise me if he shows up Sunday at All In as well in some capacity. I think he'll factor in some way, shape, or form to that Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin match.
But like, think about this now. Like, I get why you would want to do. You don't want to, but at the same time, it's like, what if Sting is like Batman, and you get to be the next Sting? Like when like Terry McGinnis takes over for Bruce Wayne. Like you get to be the next Batman. You get to be the next Sting. Or his dad just hands him it and just says, "Here's the bat. Here's the trench coat. Here's the padded, outfit. Just do it." No, but Dad, I'm not ready.
Again, that could very well happen in the fallout from All In.
Oh my God. You don't want to do it right away. It would have to be like you take a while. Like he would have to show that he could wrestle well in the ring and wrestle at the level of his dad. Which
I'll tell you, man, they've had him running dark matches for months in AEW. Essentially, if you went to a TV taping anywhere in the country, you could rest assured that even before Ring of Honor matches happened, before anything whatsoever happened, Stephen Borden was going to be getting ring time. And this is one instance where they've been doing it right. This guy has been working nearly every night, whether it's a Wednesday or a Saturday. He's in the dark matches. He's getting reps. He's getting coached up by the people he needs to get coached up by. And you love to see it, because I think that they have their hands on something that could be very special if they play their cards right.
And again, and Matt would sit here and, no, I would really, I would be so happy.
Yeah.
I would be so happy if they found some organic way where he dons the mantle and make it like a Batman character. Have his dad go out there and go, look, I've taught you everything I can. Have him just show up, and then the audience go, no, Sting just had, oh God, it would be so fucking good.
Absolutely.
My head would explode if he
one?
showed up. Both. Don't invite me to your house on Sunday. If that would have happened, you'd have to clean it. Google, hire a cleaning crew. It would be like the Chappelle Show first season where the guy's head exploded. If he came out, if Sting walked down the ramp, and then the camera pans up and there's fucking original Sting. Oh my God.
Yeah. Dude.
But you don't want to do that right away. You don't want to do that early. You want to give it a year or two. You want people to see this guy. And here's the thing, I haven't heard his voice. Like, does he sound like his dad?
I mean, he sounds similar. He sounds similar, but
damn
I don't know how good his promos are. So we'll see.
I know that if he starts going ta-ta.
Speaking of TNA, man, Avery Styles, he basically, if you'll notice, after all that stuff happened with Eric Cannon and GCW, he signs a deal with TNA and shows up on their show. He's worked maybe 4 matches on the indies. So he is now a TNA contracted talent. And props to that guy, man. He got fast tracked in there. The matches that I've seen him work, which the one I'm speaking about was actually at the GCW show where he worked against Marcus Mathers. That was a very, very good match from both guys. Avery Styles, he's got a great future in the business as long as he continues to ply his craft, and as long as he, takes the recommendations and the feedback given from the people who are inevitably going to coach him up in TNA, and especially they're in the friendly link up with WWE still. So there is that whole pipeline to get Avery Styles to WWE within the next 10 years, or I should say within the next 5. Within the next 5.
AJ Styles was already insane by the time he links up with Ric Flair and Fortune. He was already well established by then, but Fortune pushed him over the top and gave him a crew. This guy needs that. I mean, AJ Styles bled TNA for a very, very long time. Yep. Survived multiple feuds, multiple, factions. I don't know what that would look like.
Yeah.
If AJ Styles shows up one day and they're wearing matching outfits, I don't know what that would look like. The kid's got to prove himself right now. He looks too green.
Yeah.
They're giving him AJ Styles branding that could go sideways. It's the same thing with Steve Borden. You want it badly. You want it badly.
Very much
with Zilla Fatu, that's whatever.
I'll tell you, man, they've gotten off to a really good start with him over in NXT, though. They've really portrayed him as must see and somebody that is going to make quite the impact. So you gotta love that, man. And quite frankly, he was generating the most buzz out of anybody during WrestleMania weekend here in Las Vegas. I was over at WrestleCon. That dude had the longest line of anybody at the convention. And there were always people at that booth. It was crazy. And you do love to see Zilla getting that bigger stage that, quite frankly, he deserves. He's put in the work. He's done a lot of great things across the indies, especially with House of Glory. So it remains to be seen how well everything materializes with him in NXT. And eventually when, we're in the 8th inning at the fucking Bloodline storyline in 3 years and he gets called up there.
No, not 3 years. Not 3 years. He has to win big, and he will. He'll get an NXT belt. Roman Reigns will say, all right, you're now the champion. That means you're on the island of relevancy. That means you matter. Do you understand the responsibility to matter in the family and serve your tribal chief? You know what it is? It's like a slightly smoother Triple H delivery with Roman Reigns. It's like Triple H is nutty peanut butter. Roman Reigns is a little extra creamy peanut butter, but it's still peanut butter. It's still, you try to chew on it, you get stuck a little bit because your deliveries are still, Do you understand? You gotta look like, they both look like they're taking a shit when they talk too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Go fucking everything Bloodline. And what are we doing, by the way, with Ms. Bloodline? What's going on with Lena, Francine, Fanine, Nia Jax, whatever the fuck? I want to see the Super Bloodline.
You've been clamoring for the Super Bloodline for about 10 years now, Rob.
Oh yeah, and I'm not going to be happy unless I get that. Look, hey, I'm half white. That means I have Karen blood in my DNA, and I want to speak to the manager. I want to see the Super Bloodline, and I'm not just talking about Nia Jax's used pad.
Well, that explains a lot. That certainly does explain a lot. You definitely do have that Karen blood flowing through you, but man,
just do it. You got all these people, just fucking do it.
Yeah, you got all these people. Above all else, you don't want to be hasty with your decision making, though. Just like what we found out in the internet wrestling community and the vast assortment of news sources. So yes, folks, please be mindful of where you get your wrestling news. Make sure that they are accredited. As this report came out a few days ago, saying that ESPN was reportedly not renewing the deal for WWE PLEs, which, needless to say, arched a lot of eyebrows. Immediately, there were calls for retraction. This story was initially released not by Still Real to Us. That was just the tweet that I grabbed, because the initial tweet has now been removed from the internet. Which was from SE Scoops. So be cautious, as I said, where you get your info. ESPN point blank told PW Insider that the rumors that they wouldn't be renewing WWE, despite only being 1 year into a 5-year deal, there was no truth to the report that we have decided to not to renew. So ESPN told Justin Barrasso they never checked with us before publishing. And had they, we would have told them that was completely false. So, yeah.
We care more about the wrestling news than the written news.
Yeah, exactly. Which then prompted SE Scoops to tweet this out, a statement on our WWE ESPN report. Yesterday, we published a report from BJ Bethel on WWE's relationship with ESPN. We are retracting that story in its entirety. Before a story like this runs, the subject deserves a direct chance to respond, and that step wasn't taken to the appropriate standard. Since publication, it's come to light that this effort fell way short. We ran it back, and the buck stops with us. We parted ways with Mr. Bethel, have had our verification procedures reviewed by an outside partner, and updated our process as a result. So there you have it, the very public firing of BJ Bethel from SE Scoops. And this just goes to show you it's not about getting the news out there first.
Who was
it's about
BJ
getting the news
Bethel?
out there that's correct.
I never even heard of this guy until this issue. He was not even. Who was he? Was he just trying to be the next?
He was a no-name guy. He had published several other things online that have drawn scrutiny from people. But yeah, it clearly he was just trying to stir the pot. That's all that it could be. All that could really be said and deduced from that. But yeah, man, just make sure that you are getting your news from reputable sources. That's all that we can really say.
Dude.
No fake news, as it were.
He held back.
He definitely held back.
What did you say about fake news? I know somebody would have something to say about fake news.
There somebody may have something to say about that. I don't know if we might be able to get that individual on. Give me just a second here. Mr. President, are you there?
It's incredible what we've seen this weekend with All In and with WWE. And I was listening to what Rob said. He's a very smart guy, very, very knowledgeable guy, unlike BJ Bethel, little blowjob Bethel. This is your president, the honorable heavyweight champion, Donald J. Trump, and what I'm proposing will be a War Games like never before seen, the complete and total decimation of the bloodline by the Trump line. It will be WWE War Games bloodline versus the gold line. It will be Eric versus Zilla Fatu, Don Jr. taking on, we're thinking maybe Jacob Fatu. Then we'll have Baron take on Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso will fight, let me think,
Jared?
Jared Kushner. He's very good. Jared Kushner, he's like our honorary Us. He's the honorary Trump. And then we're going to have Ivanka. Ivanka's going to fight Nia Jax. It's going to be a blood-on-blood match. And then we've got.
Are you okay, Mr. President?
Well, you know what? There's a new version of the Kung Flu, and it is sweeping through the country at rates never thought possible. But after this, we'll drink some NyQuil, and let's not forget, it will be Roman Reigns, your tribal chief, versus your commander-in-chief. This will be the biggest War Games with numbers that will completely strip any of the box office or gate numbers that we saw at the pathetic WrestleMania 42. So sad. A stadium of 80,000 people, and they only had 47 on night one. Isn't that 47,000 people?
47,000 on night one. Yes, sir.
That is so sad. That is so tremendously sad. It's very bad. They're doing a terrible job. I said H. I call him H. Okay. They should call him Preparation H because he's bleeding out. He's bleeding out, and we've got to put some cream. So sad. But we're going to have the greatest War Games coming up. You're going to go, wow. I've never seen Samoans take a beating like this since the tsunami hit their island. That's what I said. I said, oh, Jesus, God, these guys are going to get pounded by Tsunami Donald. And you can't, Tsunami Trump, okay? DT, Tsunami Trump. We love titties.
Yes, we do.
All right. And then, of course, All In, like I am every night with Melania. All In. You're doing good work, and get rid of the evil bald guy.
Well, the evil bald guy is actually out on assignment this week, and I believe that he'll be off the show for a couple of weeks. So, Best wishes to Matt Michaels.
Well, Rob is the bald guy that we like.
Oh.
And Rob told me to mention that if you want to see me, go to cameo.com/BOCE comedy. And for just $25, you'll get a personalized greeting from your favorite president, Donald J. Trump. And I've been told that little Barack Hussein, don't forget the Hussein part, Obama might be there too, you know. You might get to see one of your favorite presidents, and we know that your favorite president is Donald Trump. I know that, quite honestly, you're my favorite. I'm your favorite president. Is that right?
That's pretty accurate. Yes, sir.
They tell me you love me even more. They tell me you love Donald Trump even more than Lincoln. That you've never seen so many people have said this. This isn't me saying this. We've never seen so many slaves freed since 1865. It's tremendous what I've done. What I've done for the country was never before thought possible. We have freed billions and billions of slaves, and we've deported billions and billions of Mexicans and some Chinese too. Some of the bad Chinese are gone. But you could also go to cameo.com/Boyz Comedy and donate your campaign contributions there. Thank you very much, Steve. Keep up.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the honorable heavyweight champion and president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Right. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and turn now and talk about All In as we set the stage for Wembley Stadium. Before we get into that specifically, we've had some updates on the attendance, and I don't know, man. They've surpassed 40,000. They've got, their setup is maxed at 45K. Do you think that they're going to get 45K in the next 4 days? I wouldn't be surprised, man.
It's very possible. Last minute, people signing up. Now, of course, WWE guys are going to go, well, they got 90,000. Yeah, because you ran it 2 days to do it.
Yeah.
It's an asterisk.
Night one at Allegiant Stadium this year was 47,000 and change, and night two was just a hair over 50,000, 50,033.
And what does Allegiant hold?
It's 78, I believe, 78, 80K.
So what you're telling me is between the two nights, they would have been able to fill it up. If they had put everybody combined, they would have been able to fill it up, and that's pathetic. Yeah. This is my thing. Their first year, I know he paid some money into filling it up. I know the one that they did in Texas was a little skewed because it didn't do what it was supposed to do. I want them to work because they need to work, and they need to work to make WWE better.
Yeah, without a doubt.
45,000, while it is better, it's not what they did their first year.
Correct.
And I don't know what that original All In before they were formerly AEW pulled in. I'm excited. The matches are tight. It's not superfluous matches. It's not a lot of fluff. I'm not entirely excited about Ospreay versus Omega because the way they framed it was both of these guys are beat up. Nightingale versus Monet, I'm going to be focused on that one like a laser. The International Championship, love it.
Yeah, buddy.
It's a complete triple threat. Nobody's backing anybody.
Yep.
Cage and Cope versus the Bucks could be good. Could be some chicanery. I'm thinking between Omega and the Bucks, maybe a heel turn. Maybe. Divine Dominion Brawling Birds, don't care. It's just local fan service. They're all, whatever. Darby Allin, Kevin Knight. It's going to be a banger of a match. I'm almost bored because I'm taking it for granted that it will be a banger. Yep. And Elito versus MJF. This is a hurricane of egos.
Yeah. Now the nice thing with that is that last match you just mentioned. That is the Casino Gauntlet match. So those are the individuals who will be in at numbers 1 and 2. So obviously we will see where the rest of the field lines up. And then also in your All in London the Continental Challenge Cup. That will be decided as well, as the obviously the show has already happened, but we're not going to spoil things here.
Right.
So obviously tonight it was Kyle O'Reilly versus Nigel McGuinness, and it was Jon Moxley versus Claudio Castagnoli. And yeah, one can only imagine that both of those matches were absolute bangers this evening. Yeah, man, let's just run this down really quickly. I think you hit the nail on the head. There are not 14 matches on this show, thank God. Now, this is going to be an early start for us over here on the West Coast. Are you ready for Sunday, bro?
Oh, I can't wait.
So the pre-show starts at 8 a.m.
Oh, God damn it, you motherfuckers.
It starts at 8 a.m. The main show will start at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
So, God.
Even if Tony Khan does decide to run 5 hours, we're looking at being done with the show at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So that'll be fantastic. Yeah, man. Yeah, get you some steak and eggs, crack one open, fire one up. And
that's my favorite thing to eat every morning. The McDonald's steak, egg, and cheese bagel is my absolute favorite thing. I eat that every morning.
There you go. Man.
I love that.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Those bagel sandwiches are super underrated, man. They're peak. So let's just run this down, bro. Let's knock out some predictions.
Right.
So in that Continental Cup final, who do you got in the finals and who do you got winning it all?
Mox.
Yep.
Mox.
I think that it plants the seed for Mox to go over Nigel McGuinness in the finals, because we'll get into this, but it will sow some seeds of doubt, because there are other hometown athletes on this show, and they can't all win championships in their home country, because that would be just too much of a trope. So yeah, Mox successfully defends his Continental title here. Casino Gauntlet match. Do you think Andrade or MJF win, or do they throw us a curveball and have neither one of those guys win this match?
This is a tough one. Give it to El Idolo.
Okay.
He's too over right now. MJF can afford to take a loss.
Okay.
And also when MJF loses, it forces him to reinvent himself.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there. I do have to slightly stray from you, though. I think that MJF will find some bullshit way to win this match. I do think that we will see Ilya Dragunov debut in this match as well. So yeah, they love bringing out mystery competitors in these types of matches. So
it's not for his belt, right?
No,
it's not for Elite. So yeah, then El Idolo could lose only because if it was for his belt, he would win. It might. Here's how you have him lose real quick, not to get too lost in the sauce. If he's dicking around with the women ringside, and yeah, maybe that they can go to that thing, and then he has to get more serious. And then somebody goes, "Hey, bro, that only happened because you were fucking around."
Yeah, that absolutely could happen. I completely agree. TNT Championship on the line. Kevin Knight defending the title against Darby Allin. What say you, bro?
Knight's got the backing of the Don Callis family. Knight, too much chicanery. Darby Allin will beat the shit out of him, and then Knight will do it, and then they'll go into All Out, and maybe an All Out.
Yep, took the words right out of my mouth. I think we'll see a Sting appearance in this match, but it won't matter. I think that ultimately at the end of the day, what's that?
It'll be too little too late.
I agree. So obviously Kevin Knight retains there. The Brawling Birds challenging for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship against the Divine Dominion. Why are the Brawling Birds winning this match, Rob?
Aren't they in England? And they're in England, and it's in England. And the Divine Dominion are there because they're big women. They're big, muscular women. And they have absolutely no charisma.
Yeah.
They're just kind of boring. They're
Yeah.
boring. They're
Yeah,
the kind of women who go, I'm funny. No, you're not.
I liked what they have kind of teased, and putting them with Mercedes. I think that they would definitely do well with getting some sort of a mouthpiece, whether that's another female wrestler and making them, adding her to the stable. But yeah, I think that they do need a mouthpiece. Plus, let's be real, the show's gonna end with Alex Windsor out there and Will Ospreay posing for the assembled Wembley crowd as the fireworks pop and go crazy with their new championship belts in the center of the ring as confetti falls. You've got a perfect image right there and one hell of a moment. So
What
Brawling Birds win that
continent?
title.
What continent does this take place in?
Europe.
Okay. Which champion was from Europe? Tekla.
Yep. She is
You
not
have-
on the show as of right now, and that is a gross miscarriage of justice.
Tekla is solid.
Yep.
She is solid. She's not tall.
Nope.
She's not tall, but they used her 1,000,000,000% correctly. If not for
yeah.
All In, if she's not an All Out, that means she's either hurt or she's knocked up. Or she's doing a movie, or she just said fuck off. I can't imagine she would say fuck off.
Nope.
I don't think she got knocked up, and I don't recall her being injured.
Yep.
So, with that said, why would she not interfere in the Willow Nightingale Mercedes Moné match?
Well, that remains to be seen, bro. We'll get to that here in just a second, but let's talk about the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Cage and Cope taking on the Young Bucks. What do you got in this one, bro?
Cage and Cope lose, and Cage is going to eat the pin.
Okay.
And Cage has to eat the pin because the majority of the match is going to be. Excuse me, I apologize. Cope is going to eat the pin. I meant to say, Cope is going to eat the pin. Christian Cage is going to get beat up a lot with that wrist guard bullshit. He's going to take a lot of abuse. The Young Bucks will not hesitate to pull the trigger on beating the shit out of a wounded guy.
Right.
Even as baby faces, they will not hesitate. They want the belts.
Absolutely.
Cope is going to try to save Cage. It's going to cost him because he's syrup.
Yep.
He will take the syrup pin. Will the Young Bucks go heel? I don't know. But somehow, some way, Cope's going to screw it up.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a very bitter Christian Cage. So, yeah. You knew where I was going to when I said Cage. You were like, you kind of gave me the surprise. Like, no, I'm like, wait a minute. No, I meant to say.
I think that there's going to be some different circumstances that surround that. I wouldn't be surprised to see FTR show back up and actually cost Cage and Cope the tag team championships to the Bucks.
Yeah. Which saves the Bucks.
Yes.
Allows them to go on a lot longer as baby faces.
I completely agree. I wouldn't be surprised if they run it back at All Out in Chicago, and it's Cage and Cope versus the Bucks versus FTR. And you could do a gimmick match. I
don't want to see another for their career or their tag ability, and I don't want to see any of that shit. We don't need that. They can retire whenever the fuck they want to, and it doesn't have to be some shenanigans associated with it that they were forced out. I hate being forced out.
Yeah.
Sting just left. Sting called it. Cena I mean, to lose to Gunther the way he did, but that's always going to be a sour pill.
Yeah, that's
I give up.
So the three-way match and what some people are saying is going to be a possible match of the year contender. I completely agree. Konosuke Takeshita versus Kazuchika Okada versus Kyle Fletcher for the AEW International Championship. Dude, with how they've been planting the seeds with this stuff, the only outcome that makes any kind of sense whatsoever is Takeshita runs rampant and actually it lays out Kyle Fletcher, and then you have Okada do some weaselly shit, maybe catch him with a low blow, and you have Okada pin Kyle Fletcher and take that championship because obviously it's keeping it in the family.
Pause. Who gets the screwdriver? There's going to be a screwdriver involved. There has to be a screwdriver
Fletcher gets hit
involved.
with a screwdriver.
Yes. And
Fletcher gets hit with a screwdriver. Absolutely.
Babyface. Bonkers. His interviews right now, he's looking very babyface in his
He's so
interviews.
good, man. He is so good.
Swerve Strickland. Angry. They're just he's very smooth. It's looking good. And then you can have Fletcher and Takeshita.
Yep.
And Okada gets the belt, and Okada, he's the ultimate fucking. He's perfect in that position.
Oh yeah.
Now, by the way,
good.
I want him to have the big belt one day soon.
Oh, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. You could easily run Fletcher versus Takeshita back at All Out in a month. Throw some sort of a gimmick match stipulation behind that. That you could easily do that kind of thing as the fallout from this one. Plus, it shakes up your entire main event scene. So let's turn now and talk about the AEW Women's World Championship. I know you had mentioned some stuff earlier with Tekla possibly being involved in this match. That would not surprise me in the slightest, bro. So I think you and I are pretty much in lockstep on this one. But Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale, who you got?
I want Willow Nightingale. Mercedes Moné is a heel, and a heel can chase just as much as a babyface can. A heel she can either have a come to Jesus moment. There's so many more ways you can do with this, with Moné losing, because the whole thing with Moné was she had all those belts.
Yep.
She doesn't have that anymore. She has nothing. And if she has nothing, I would rather see her address the audiences with nothing. Or she goes, I'm going to pull it all on the line, blah, 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 All Out, and then fucks her over at All Out. But you have to look at it differently. The London audience knows who Mercedes Moné is.
Yep.
They don't have a lot of access to Willow Nightingale. They might like a feel-good story like this. They actually might like a feel-good story instead of being just... Mercedes Moné was forced down everyone's throat, and when she came out as a CEO, she came out as a question mark.
Yeah.
She wanted to see which way the audience would respond, and for that first instance, they liked her. Kind of. It was a tepid response, and then she said, fuck it, I'll go heel.
Yep, absolutely.
And did it work? I don't know. I mean, is she bad in the ring? No.
No,
I don't
not
think
in the
her matches
slightest.
yeah, because Matt's been critical of her matches. No. She doesn't have 12, 13 belts, Moné. So to have this belt and not the other 13, it doesn't make sense. And I don't want to do a rubber matches or any of that. I want Willow Nightingale to just completely beat her and Mercedes Moné to find herself again.
Yep. I completely agree. Willow retains here. By the way, on that three-way, you had Okada, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So then here you've got Willow retaining, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. And then your coup de grace, your AEW World Championship match, Will Ospreay versus Kenneth Omega. Is there any chance whatsoever that they keep the belt on Kenny?
It's such a short title run. And has he had any defenses?
One against Kevin Knight.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, I forgot about that. That
was it.
Here's my problem, and you know it's late when keep breathing, but he looks old. He looks tired.
Yeah.
It's to give it to Will Ospreay. I'm leery because this isn't Cody Rhodes with the story.
Yeah,
like there are no the only way Omega wins he could be a dick and play keep away forever and a day, which could
Yeah.
work.
It could, but
the reality is this is the far gone conclusion. It's going to be Ospreay, unless we're throwing the ultimate curveball and you make Ospreay chase longer and you make it his story.
I genuinely hope not, man. I genuinely hope not. I got Ospreay going over here in the main, and there's been some photos of the set that's being built already. So we shall see what becomes of that. Shout outs to PWMMA News for that image.
I like that diamond thing they got going on there.
Yeah, it should be cool. Without a doubt, man. So, hey, Rob, right before we get out of here, why don't you tell the good people where they can follow you, tell them about your cameo, all that kind of stuff.
Well, we did the cameo.com
yeah.
/BOCE comedy. I've got a new page, Rob Does America, on Facebook. But of course, you all know me as the Vegas Trump guy on Instagram and TikTok. Shows, I will have them all up there on the social media, as there are a few right now.
Perfect. All right, man. Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, a very special thank you to all the brave men and women serving this country, whether you're doing it on lands, foreign or domestic. Thank you for doing what you do so that we can do what we love to do. And last but not least, repsports.com, reppsports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, and general energy needs. Repsports.com. Use promo code Vegas at checkout and save yourself 10%.
Dude,
Rob, you gonna come over for some steak and eggs on Sunday morning?
I think I would love to. Thank you.
All right, brother. Hell yeah.
If
All right.
I'm
Well,
gonna wake up, probably wake up with a laptop. There'll be like a fucking porno video running on loop. I'll be like, it's Sunday. I don't have to do shit. Oh, fuck. Steve, run it back.
Exactly. Fucking, I'll, hey man, wake and bake and or have a shot ready for you. So,
all right.
Nonetheless, until then, guys, thank you for hanging out. We will see you guys next week right here on the Vegas Bad Boys podcast.
Did any of you have a great time tonight? Yeah.
With that, everybody, thank you for hanging out. We'll do it all again next week. Till then, happy wrestling.
Rolling up the strip under neon lights. Podcast mic is glowing in the desert nights. Matt Michaels leading with the swagger tights. Sin City Steve right by your side. Alright, Rob Larry dropping truths, no fear. Broadcasting stories, make it loud and clear. From the Fremont edges to the Bellagio sphere. These bad boys rule, let me make that clear. Vegas bad boys, tearing up the scene.
To Matt Michaels and the Vegas Boys of Podcasting, this is John Cena saying thank you so much.